Greetings, welcome back to the Man Cave. It is Super Bowl Sunday, so what we're going to do here for a little dinner at game time is a Chicago style deep dish pizza. So let's get started. Okay, we're going to get started making a Chicago style crust. I'm going to start out with 3 1/4 cups of flour, 1/2 cup of cornmeal, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt, and 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. And with that in the bowl, we're just going to whisk it all together. And then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of melted butter and 1 1/4 cups of water at room temperature. And we're going to put the dough hook on the mixer and get this going. And we're going to mix that on the lowest speed until this dough starts to come together, and then we'll be back to have a look at it. Okay, when the dough all comes together, we're going to ramp the mixer speed up to about a medium speed and let it go pretty quickly until the dough looks good and shiny. So let's crank it back up. Probably go for about 5 minutes at this speed. Okay, and that's what it's going to look like when we're finished beating it. So we're going to take this out of the bowl and I'll show you the next step. Okay, I'm going to take a large plastic bowl here and drizzle in some extra virgin olive oil and rub it around and coat the bottom and the sides of this bowl fairly well with that. And then we're going to bring our dough over. We're going to drop it right in there, and I'm going to kind of press it down, and then I'm going to flip it over so we get a good coat of oil to keep the dough from forming a skin. Move that up here where you can see it a little better. And then I'm going to just take a towel and drape it over the bowl, and we're going to let that rise for about an hour or so until that doubles in size. Okay, the dough has risen up, so what we're going to do now is take the rolling pin and roll this out into a rectangle, and I'll get that rolled out and we'll come right back. Okay, now that we've got this rolled out, I've got 1/2 stick of butter here that I've let soften, and we're going to take this butter and spread it all over the surface of this dough, and we're going to cover it all about within 1/2 inch of the edge. So I'll get this spread out here and we'll come back and look at the next step. Okay, now that I've got the butter spread out, we're going to turn and work from the short edge, and we are going to roll this dough up just like we might roll a cinnamon roll. And we'll put the seam side down. Then we'll turn our board back around, and then we will cut it in half. I'll take my knife here. We'll just slice this in half. And what you see that we get here, I don't know how well we can see that in the videos, we've got a bunch of layered butter in there, so this is going to behave kind of like a pastry. So at this point, we are going to press it out. I'm going to set one of these aside. I've made enough here to make 2 pizzas. So we're going to flatten this out a little bit, and then we're going to fold it in thirds, just like that. And then we're going to take this ball and pinch pinch it back together. Into a dough ball, just like such. We're going to put it back in our greased bowl, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other one, and then we're going to let it rise for another hour. So we'll be back. Okay, our dough's risen again, so I'm going to take my rolling pin and we're going to roll this out to about a 13-inch diameter circle, because I've got a 10-inch pan that we're going to put it in. So let me get that rolled out and then we'll be right back. Okay, I've got my dough rolled out. Now I'm going to take my pizza pan and we're going to put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the bottom of the pan. I know that sounds like a lot, but basically what we're going to be doing is frying the bottom side of this crust. So I'm going to spread that out and get it up on the sides of the pan. And then we will take our dough and stretch it across the top of the pan, and we'll be right back. Okay, we got the dough set in the pan here, so we're going to press it in against the sides and work it all the way around. Just get it into the corners. You get the air out from behind it. Doesn't have to be perfect here. Just want to get it in there nice, and whatever you've got left over the edges, you can just kind of roll it in. Okay, that looks pretty good. So what we do next to make Chicago style deep dish pizza is put the cheese on first. So I've got some shredded mozzarella here. We're going to put probably close to 2 cups in the bottom of this pizza. Fairly thick layer here. And then I have got some pepperoni that I've chopped into cubes, so we're going to spread it around. And then I've got some Italian sausage that I've pre-cooked, because you got to make sure your sausage is cooked all the way. We're going to spread this Italian sausage around. And then we've got some homemade sauce that we'll talk about in a future video. We're going to layer the sauce in on top. Spread that nice and evenly. And then to finish this off, we're going to grate some Asiago cheese on the top, some fresh grated. Okay, so that looks good. That's ready to go, and I will meet you at the grill. Okay, I've got the big Kamado Joe, or the Kamado Joe Classic, up to temperature here. We're going to be cooking at about 425. I've got the heat deflector in the elevated position, and we're going to close that up and let it cook for probably 30 to 40 minutes, and then we'll be back to have a look when it's done. Okay, pizza fans, here it is. This guy's ready. We're going to get him off the grill, take him inside and let him cool for about 10 minutes, maybe 15, and then we'll cut into it. Have a look, man. It smells delicious, it looks delicious, and I am stoked about this one. So we'll be back. Okay, there it is. We lifted it right out of the pan. I probably should have let it sit for just a minute or two longer. It's still really hot, and the crust is slightly dark on the bottom, but not too bad. The dough is real soft. I can't wait to tear into this. So we're gonna eat and watch the ball game, and we'll see you next time here on Man Cave Meals.